Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Tiejun Tang from London. It's my pleasure to have this opportunity to deliver a lecture on this conference. The topic I will report today is Inheriting and Innovation Makes TCM Developing. Where TCM came from, how it became the current situation. My answer is the inheriting and innovation makes TCM developing. No inheriting, TCM will lost its initial philosophy. Under no innovation, TCM will lost the power of the developing. We will still use the formula from Huangdi Neijing. In TCM history, there are 8 schools of thought are remarkable. We will review each. So the 8th school of the thought in TCM history is School of Yi Jing, School of the Shanghan, and School of Hejian, School of Yi Shui, School of Purgation, School of Tonified Earth, School of Nourishing Yin, and School of Wenbing. Schools of Yi Jing is focused on research on Huangdi Neijing and Nanjing. School of Shanghan is focused on research on Shanghan Lun. And School of Hejian is a school about cold and cool, use cold and cool herbs to treating the heat disease. And School of Yi Shui more focused on the Zangfu diagnosis research. And the School of Purgation is focused on the purgate method. The School of Tonified Earth is focused on tonified spleen and stomach. And the Nourishing Yin school that is focused on nourishing the yin. And Wenbing school is focused on the infectious disease and the damp heat disease. Let's see School of Yi Jing. It is a school dedicated to basic theory research. It focuses on the research of Huangdi Neijing and Nanjing. So this is Huangdi Neijing, this is the English version, and this is Nanjing. These 2 books are roughly is about the same time. That is at warming times in China history. And it's about 475 BC to 221 BC. Huangdi Neijing is the basic theory of the TCM was established in this book, and it also is the earliest book of extant medical classicals in China. It was including 2 parts, one called So-Wen, the other called Ling Shu. It deals with anatomy, physiology, pathology, diagnosis, treatment, and prevention. It plays a primary foundations for the theories of the TCM, which was followed by the next generations. So it's a great book. This book only contained 12 formulas was recorded in Huangdi Neijing. That is not enough. More practical formulas was in need. After Huangdi Neijing, the next school of thought is the School of Shanghan. This is a school that study and research on Shanghan Zabing Lun, which was written by Zhang Zhongjing in around 200 to 210 AD. That is about 1,800 years ago. This is Zhang Zhongjing, Shanghan Lun, that is his. Zhang Zhongjing's time was the biggest pandemic in China's history. The big pandemic produced a great master. His book has been divided into 2 parts. One part which discusses the extraneous disease called Shanghan Lun. The other part which discussed on the miscellaneous disease called Jing Kui Yao Lue. The contributions of the Zhang Zhongjing, the theory of the 6 channels diagnosis was established. That is Taiyang, Shaoyang, Yangming, Taiyin, Shaoyin, and Jueyin. That is a 6 channels diagnosis method. In his book, 397 treatment principles was mentioned. 113 formulas was recorded. It knows as the earliest book on the study of the prescriptions. It lays a foundation for the development of the clinic medicine. The next school is the School of Hejian that was founded by Liu Wanshu, which focused on the analyze the pathogenesis of heat syndrome and its treatment. Because he lived in that the place is called Hejian, so that's why it's called Hejian School. Yeah. So many people also call him Liu Hejian. Yeah. But his former name is Liu Wansu. That is at Jin and Yuan dynasty. The contribution of Liu Hejian is established the theory of the 6 evils all can produce heat. 6 evils, that is wind, cold, dampness, summer heat, dryness, and fire. Every evils can produce heat. So that is Liu Hejian's opinion. It also promoted the development of the pathogenesis of TCM. He established the treatment method of relieving the exterior syndrome with pungent and cool herbs. You know, at Shanghanlun, Zhang Zhongjing, he is good at use the pungent and warm herbs. Like Ma Huang Tang and Gui Zhi Tang, they are pungent and warm. But Zhang Zhongjing don't use the pungent and cool herbs. From Liu Hejian, he start to use Liang Ge San, which is contained Bohe, Lianqiao, Jinyinhua, such kind of. Because Liu Wansu, he lays the foundation for the later generation of the Purgation School and Wenbing School. Next is School of Yishui. Yishui School is a school that was founded by Zhang Yuanshu, which focus on analyze the pathogenesis of Zangfu organs. This school focus on the study of deficiency disease, especially the deficiency of the spleen and kidney. Therefore, the clinical treatment is based toward warming tonic. They use more warming herbs and tonic herbs. The contributions of Zhang Yuanshu is established the theory of Zangfu syndrome diffusion diagnosis and made the important contribution to the development of TCM and established the theory of the meridian selection of herbs and the guiding herbs. Zhang Yuanshu, he also sometimes use a lot of heat clean herbs. He selected different herbs to clean the heat in the different meridians. For example, for clean the heart fire, they use Huanglian. To clean the liver fire, they use Longdan Cao. To clean the lung heat, they use Huangqin. So different herbs select different meridians to clean the heat in the different organs. He started to use the guiding herbs, which lead the herbs to the certain meridian, like Chaihu, to bring the meridian to the Shaoyang meridian, which is in here at the temple, that is Shaoyang meridian. So if the headache, we call it Shaoyang headache, the headache is on the both side. So we use add Chaihu. If the headache at vortex, that is a Jueyin meridian. So he used Wu Zhu Yu because Wu Zhu Yu can lead other herbs, guiding the herbs to the Jueyin meridian. And if the headache in the front head, that is a Yangming meridians, he used the Qianghuo for treating the Yangming meridians headache. So use different guiding herbs into the different meridian. Next is the School of Purgation, a school that was founded by Zhang Chongzheng with focus on the purgate evils. He believes expiate evils should be the primary task of the treating disease, and commonly use the three methods, which are sweating, vomiting, and purgating. By promoting the sweat, by induce vomiting, or causing the diarrhea, use the purgation. These three methods can expel evils. Commonly use these three methods to treating the disease. The contributions of the Zhang Chongzheng is expanded the scope of the application of the three methods of sweating, vomiting, and purgation. Promoted the development of the treatment principle. It provides the valuable theoretic and practical basis for the Wenbing school. In the later generation, at the Ming and the Qing dynasty, right, the Wenbing school. Wenbing school, some treatment method is based on Zhang Chongzheng, and some is based from Liu Wanshu. So Liu Wanshu and Zhang Chongzheng, they are in the Jin and Yuan dynasty. They lay down a basis for the Wenbing school. The next school of tonified earth. Earth in 5 elements, that is spleen, is matched with the spleen. So tonified earth means tonified spleen and stomach. This is a school that was founded by Li Dongyuan, which focus on tonified spleen and stomach. It also called a spleen and stomach school. This is Li Dongyuan. Actually, he's a student of Zhang Yuanshu. His teacher is Zhang Yuanshu. Li Dongyuan is his student. Contribution of Li Dongyuan is he systematically divided the disease into 2 categories, that is extraneous and internal injury. The spleen is in the middle jaw. The other 4 organs are closely related to spleen. The injuries can affect on spleen, 5 Zhang organs. Except spleen, the other 4 organs all can very closely related to the spleen. Any Zhang organs problem can affect the spleen. So internal injury to the spleen and the stomach will causing a lot of disease. Li Dongyuan, the other contribution is he invented the 补中益气汤, which is very famous formula. Until nowadays, we often use this formula to treating a lot of disease. Mainly just some prolapse sensation, prolapse of the internal organs, like a prolapse of the stomach, prolapse of the uterus, and the prolapse of the rectum. We often can use the 补中益气汤 to lifting the qi, often have a very good effect. The next school is the school of nourishing yin. This is founded by Zhu Danxi, which focus on yin nourishing. His contribution is Zhu Danxi's opinion: yang is often excess, and yin often deficiency. So he created the pathogenesis theory of yin deficiency, attaches a great importance to the damp heat and empty heat, or amplifier. Yue Ju Wan was invented to treating the 6 stagnation syndrome, that is qi stagnation, xue stagnation, and phlegm stagnation, and food retention, dampness stagnation. Yeah. So different kind of stagnation, he used different herbs, and that tablet is called Yue Ju Wan, still widely used currently. This is Liu Hejian. He's the first person of school of Hejian, Liu Wanshu. This is Zhang Chongzheng. This is Li Dongyuan. This is Zhu Danxi. These 4 people, Liu Hejian, Zhang Chongzheng, Li Dongyuan, Zhu Danxi, they are big 4 masters at Jin and Yuan dynasty, the top 4 masters. Zhang Yuanshu is not included in here. He's also very famous. He is leader of the Yishui school. Li Dongyuan is his student. And Zhang Chongzheng, he learned from Liu Hejian to learn from Liu Hejie. And Liu Hejie and Zhang Chongzheng, they are very similar opinion. So, and Zhu Danxi is very clever. He learned from everywhere. He learned something from Li Dongyuan, learned something from, because he's a few decades younger than the others. He has the opportunity to read the book of Liu Hejie, read the book of his book, and even he learned from the other two masters. He's also very popular in Japan. Even now, in Japan has some association just focus on to research on Zhu Danxi. The last one is School of Wenbing, a school that focuses on the extraneous fibrous disease. This school was most popular in the South China during the Ming and Qing dynasty. It made a great contribution to the diagnosis and treatment of pandemic disease. This is Ye Tianshi. He is most important person at Wenbing School, Ye Tianshi. His contribution is established the differentiation diagnosis of Wei Qi Ying Xu. Wei is the early stage, Qi is the second stage, and Ying Xue is the later stage. So 4 different stages, we use 4 different treatment. This is a start from Ye Tianshi. And he also proposed the epidemic evils attack the body. It often attack the lung first. He is good at treating the epidemic disease such as measles, chickenpox, and smallpox. You know, just a couple of months ago, and many countries has monkeypox. So monkeypox is very similar to smallpox. So I think Ye Tianxi's formula, this formula called 甘露消毒丹, should be very good for monkeypox. At Wenbing School, there's another big master, Wu Youxing. He's a little early, few decades early than Ye Tianshi. For the first time, it is proposed that the cause of the plagues is specific. The root of the infection disease is through the mouth and nose. And he published the first book on infectious disease called Wen Yi Lun. This is Wen Yi Lun, and written by Wu Youxing. He's in TCM history, he's the first person published the special book for infectious disease. Now, the whole group still have a pandemic of COVID. So I think we should read his book, Wen Yi Lun. This book is very important for treating the infectious disease. And the other big master of Wenbing School, called Wu Jutong, his contribution is establish the diagnosis method of Sanjiao, you know, upper jaw, middle jaw, and lower jaw. And he's set up the treatment principle of the upper jaw, middle jaw, and lower jaw. How can treat it? What herbs is suitable? So that is very important. He published a famous book called Wenbing Tiaobian. This book is very important. It has been regarded as the big 4 classicals. Number 1 is Huangdi Neijing. Number 2 is Shanghan Lun. And number 3 is the Shenlong Benchao Jing. Number 4 is Wenbing Tiaobian. So these big 4 classic books is most important in TCM history. So Wenbing Tiaobian is written by Wu Jutong, and he established many very important formulas which we still widely used nowadays. That is Yin Qiao San, Sang Ju Yin, Sang Xing Tang, Xing Su San, Qing Ying Tang, San Ren Tang, Huo Xiang Zeng Qi San, and Sha Shen Mai Dong Tang, etc. These formulas we still use it in our clinical work. So they made the history of the TCM. They learn from each other. This is a Bianque at Qin dynasty. Yeah. And this is a Huatuo. This is Zhang Zhongjing. Huatuo and Zhang Zhongjing is at Han dynasty 2000 years ago. This is Sun Simiao at Tang dynasty. This is 刘完术. This is Zhang Yuanshu at Jin and Yuan dynasty. This is Zhang Zihe. This is Li Dongyuan, and this is Zhu Danxi. They all at Jin and Yuan dynasty. And after Jin and Yuan dynasty, this is Li Shizhen, his famous pharmacist son. And his book is Ben Cao Gang Mu, which is very famous. And his book has been translated into 11 languages, so widely affected on the herbs. And this is Zhang Jingyue. This is Wu Youxing. This is Ye Tianshi. This is Wu Jutong at Wenbing School. These three is at Wenbing School, and they are at Jin and Yuan dynasty. So, you know, in the history of 2,000 years, nearly 3,000 years history of TCM, and have many great masters. Not only these, maybe I missed a lot. Later generation, from Ming and Qing generations, they have more chance to read more books. As for Zhang Zhongjing, I think on his desk, maybe only few books. He only have chance to read Huangdi Neijing and Nanjing. That is what he only could. Ling Shu So-Wen. That is from Huangdi Neijing and Nanjing. At Ming and Qing dynasty, this Wenbing master, they can have more chance. He has a library, I think. He can read Li Shizhen, he can read Zhang Jingyue, he can read Liu Wansu, Zhang Zihe. Everybody, every master, they have written, published many books, not only one. They published several books, like Zhang Jingyue, and like Li Dongyuan and Liu Wansu. They have many books. They can have more chance to learn. They have more practice. They all based on Huangdi Neijing and Shanghai Lun. So Zhang Zhongjing is a great master. He learned the knowledge from Huangdi Neijing, that is inheriting from generation to generation, hand down from next generation and next generation, hand down their knowledge by education, by teaching students. So that is inherent. But at the same time, they all have the innovations. For example, Zhang Zongjing innovated 6-channel diagnosis, and Ye Tianshi innovated 卫气营学 diagnosis. So everybody have made something new and make the TCM developing. You see, this is a Yijing school, only focus on research on Huangdi Neijing and Nanjing. This is Shanghai school. This is Hejian school. And this is Yisui school. And this is Purgation school. This is the Tonified Earth school. The Tonified Earth school is Li Dongyuan, and the Yisui school is Zhang Zihe. This is Zhang Yuanshu. So, and Zhang Yuanshu and Li Dongyuan, they are teacher and student. Liu Wanshu and Zhang Chongzheng, they are teacher and student relation. Yeah. So these two have similar opinion. They often use the cold and cool herbs treating heat syndrome, but Li Dongyuan and Zhang Yuanshu use more warm herbs to tonify. Li Dongyuan more focus on tonified stomach and spleen. And then Zhu Danxi learn from everybody. He's more focused on nourishing the kidney yin. And Wenbing master, and they learn from everybody. They have chance to read Neijing, read Shanghai Lun, and read everybody's book. Let's take example for the treatment for COVID-19. You know, COVID-19, the original virus causing the COVID 2.5 years ago, always have clearly have 3 or 4 stage: early stage, middle stage, later stage, and then recover stage. At the moment, this is called long COVID. At the early stage, just like a flu, like a common cold. If we use Shanghan school, and Zhang Zhongjing maybe gave the diagnosis is Taiyang disease or Taiyang stage. At middle stage, the patient temperature getting higher, the higher temperature without aversion to cold, and maybe have a sweat a lot and a rapid pulse. So in Shanghan school, Zhang Zhongjing will give the diagnosis that is Yangming stage or Yangming heat. And at a later stage, in danger, the patient is a very dangerous condition. So maybe at ICU in this stage. So Zhang Zhongjing will give the diagnosis as Jueyin stage. They will use maybe 四逆汤, 参服汤. And at Taiyang stage, they use Ma Huang Tang, Gui Zhi Tang. And Yangming stage, they use Bai Hu Tang. And here, maybe 四逆汤. But at Wenbing master, they gave diagnosis at early stage that they call Wei stage. And the middle stage, that is Qi stage. At Wei stage, they use Yin Qiao San, Sang Ju Yin. Qi stage use Bai Hu Tang. Same like Shanghan Lun, because they are also learn from Shanghan Lun. They still use Shanghan Lun Bai Hu Tang for treating the middle stage. And later stage, Wu Ju Tong will use Qing Ying Tang at Ying stage. At Xue stage, they will use Xi Jiao Di Huang Tang. So Ying stage and Xue stage, they use this treatment. Wenbing school, they gave this treatment, but Shanghan school, they gave different treatment. And nowadays, we combine these two. Sometimes, maybe, for me, I give patients one formula, some herbs from Wenbing, some herbs from Shanghan. We combination together, combined Shanghan and Wenbing together. And because the COVID-19 is changed, the virus changed. So at the moment, no original virus. We treating Omicron and Omicron B5, B7. So the case is much mild. And currently we still have a lot of patients at the long COVID, recover stage. Long COVID patients have different kind of symptoms. Some fatigue. If fatigue is major problem, chronic fatigue, we suggest to use tonified earth school. 李东元补中益气汤, 四君子汤补中益气汤 is very important. So tonified earth. And some patients feel sweat, short of breath, neck sweat. And we can use Naris in the Yin school. We can use some Zhu Danxi's formula. Use different school, different formula to treat in the long COVID. So nowadays, and we not only learn from one school or focus on one school, we should learn from TCM history, different kinds. We have mentioned 8 schools. So we learn every master have their excellent points, very important points. We can obstruct that points and make it into use, make it become use treatment. So that is what I would like to tell you. Thank you for your attention.